All right, and then we're going to start with how to tape a box. You know, there's a lot of ways to do it, but there's also a lot of wrong ways. So I'll start with you. We'll show you the proper way to start taping.
When you're taping a box, what we like to do is, you know, you always want to try to have there's always a cube number outside. You always want to have that number on the outside so when somebody's loading the truck, they can see what it is. When you're coming across, what we like to do is you do one in the middle. I mean, obviously, we've been doing this for a little bit longer, so it's easy for us to rip the tape. But we like
I can't do that, by the way. I try to rip it with my hand.
Yeah,
that's the way professional
is stare it, don't pull it.
Yeah, don't pull it. You just
stronger.
kind of put your fingernail into it and just rip it right out. So we kind of do 3 strips across the middle, and then we come around the sides. So what this will do is, because a lot of the time when you tape a box and you don't do this, this middle part will come up and then, you know, it'll just rip right off. So this will ensure that everything stays tight, and then, you know, if you want, you go all around it just so the box is pretty much ready to go, and then, you know.
Like in the summer on those hot 90-degree days when it's really humid out, the tape won't stick to the box. So it'll seem like it's sticking, and then you'll come back and they actually peel down.
Yeah, the next day
So
is
that when you go to
exactly.
pick it up, it can fall out. So the tape around the edge, it makes sure the tape stays on there. So after you have the box taped up, the first thing you want to do is grab some sheets. And just taking the individual sheets and just fluffing up the bottom of it.
What this will do is it'll just pretty much create like a little pillow for the bottom of the box, and it just makes it so, you know, in transition when you're hitting a couple bumps, it'll just create that little cushion that you need so, you know, the dishes won't break and you have a little bit to help you out.
Also, just as a little tip, when you're packing, these flaps are going to be annoying and get in your way. So all you have to do is just fold down 2 sides. And you just use that as the corner you pack from. That way you don't have to keep walking into it, or they don't keep hitting your arms. Alright, so once you have a little layer of cushion or pillow on the bottom, then what you're going to do is you're going to start with the heaviest, bigger items. For what we have in our kitchen here, we're going to start with the dishes.
Usually you want to keep the glass separate from that, and you can kind of like keep flipping it over. Then you get a couple.
Typically, if it's service for 12, you want to do 2 bundles of 6 plates.
Yeah. Basically just. One more. And then.
You don't necessarily have to do it like this. You could also go, you know, individually. It's really whatever the customer feels. You know, if they see you doing it a certain way, you know, you can really give them your idea and say, hey, listen, you know, either way, whatever way you're comfortable with is gonna work. You know. But the main thing is when you're packing plates, a lot of people think that you stack them straight up and down. You got to put them sideways so they're standing tall.
So like you're loading a dishwasher, so everything will be standing up in it as you go up. So you put that on one side, standing up. You go with the next section of plates.
And you pretty much just repeat this process until the bottom of the box is full.
Like a salad, you can make it 3 tiers. If you have big bowls, heavier items, they're going to go in the first tier. The second tier might be that horizontal display, vertical display of dishes. Another layer of newsprint, and then the top would be your glasses. So, you know, it could be 3-tiered inside. You put a lot in a dishwasher.
As you can see, all these are standing up. You know, we have a nice little cushion, and these boxes and these plates are straight up and down. So, again, like we said, just repeat the process until you're pretty much ready to go.
Then once you have those plates, I mean, we're not gonna do the whole box, but once you have those, then you want to go with things that's a little bit lighter and
denser on the bottom, and work your way up to, you know, more fragile, thinner, and then stemware you can pack on the top of the dish. But if it's really thin stemware, I recommend using a 1.5 and then just writing top load on it. Let it know, like, so the loader knows that stemware it's going to be loaded on the top. Obviously, nothing will crush it that way.
As you're loading a dish pack, once you get your first layer down, once you get that first, you know, nice heavy base down, what you want to do is you want to put another layer of paper down, another layer of fluff, so This way you have another protection between the plates and the next layer, what you're gonna do. So, you know, again, we're just kind of getting it ready for the next layer for you. This way, you know, we can show you how the dish bag is gonna look. And once we're tight, you'll see. I mean, we can put it on the side and nothing's gonna fall out. Everything's gonna stay in place like that.
Alright, so now we have a bottom layer of the dish, but as you can see, there's still a little bit of movement in it, so what you want to do is find where that extra space is. If you have something like this would fit, so we can take this and go right in there. But then, say you didn't have anything to put in there, what you want to do is just grab some sheets and just go into any of the extra holes just to tighten everything up. So now we have one layer. So what we're going to do now is just like the bottom, we're going to put another layer of fluff in it to separate the two layers of fragile base. So we got another layer of fluff, and then what I do is I'll just take two sheets and just fold them over where they're even. And then once you put this in, it'll give you a nice new even platform to start on. Like so. Start with the glasses.
Yeah, and then you.
So then you'll grab some lighter items, like glasses, for example. Once you got the plates, you have your vases and stuff on the base.
How many sheets
start this.
How many sheets did you just wrap that up in?
One.
One or two. You know,
Yeah,
it
one
all
or two.
depends on how fragile the piece is. I mean, if you see like a glass, you know, it's pretty thick. I mean, it's pretty sturdy. You can go with like one sheet. You know, it's really your preference. All right. So again, we flattened it off. So now the next tier.
So now we have the final layer, and then this is what I
Plastic.
like to put up here, like plastics, light stuff. Put those cups up top. It's not a lot of pressure on everything else, and then it fills everything in good because you want the box to be tight.
A lot of people have more china or stemware and stuff than they use on a regular basis. They'll store that elsewhere. So when you're packing a box, you want to keep the day-to-day stuff, you know, with the day-to-day stuff, and stuff like fancy stuff that you're not going to use unless they have a game, you know, keep that separate. So when you guys are unpacking and setting the house up, you're not having a box that's half packed with day-to-day stuff and half packed with stuff that they're going to store elsewhere.
So again, when Tim just sealed the box, he did the exact same thing that we did with the bottom. 3 strips across, 1 around, so everything stays. Label in the kitchen, dishes, cups, you know, glasses, however you guys want to label it. I'm assuming you guys have your own way of labeling certain things. So he'll write fragile, glasses, dishes, plastics, you know, forks, knives, silverware, etc.
Just as an example, we'll just use KIT for kitchen, dining room, D/R, living room, L/R. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that stuff. If it's fragile, like the dishes or stuff like that, I'll just do some little stars of fragile. That way, as the movers, once they pick it up, they know it's a box. They need to set down softer, and they shouldn't maybe use it as base. Maybe we'll put it up top instead. And then just a quick list of some of the stuff that's in there. I mean, obviously, it's going to be hard to get everything that's in a box in there, but there's going to be 4 or 5 of these that just say kitchen, so it's nice that they know the dishes and the plates and cups are in this one and what's in the other.